What's going on, vloggers, bloggers, and everyday toilet brewers? It's time for another episode of the Toilet Vlog Brewing Show. So, I know I haven't done a video in a while, and it's going to be me walking around my apartment for a minute, explaining what I'm actually going to be doing. So, I'm doing what's called a big beer. A big beer is when you do an all-grain batch, where you grind the grain yourself, you brew it. It's usually takes you gotta do it like two separate things. I tried to do one last time. I actually recorded the whole entire thing. I successfully brewed the beer in the end, but it was like an all-day fucking thing, like grinding the grain, all that shit. So what I did is when I woke up this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I had already ground my grain a couple of weeks ago, knowing it's right there. We'll get to that later. And then after that, like I said, when I woke up, I came in here. Sorry, my dishwasher's running, so it's probably going to be a little loud. And I got everything washed, sanitized, cleaned, everything. Yes, I know it looks like a lot, and there's towels all over the place, but if you don't want a sloppy, wet kitchen, get a bunch of towels. Also, brew towel. There's always a brew towel on the ground, water on the ground, bonus orange kitty. What is this? There's treats in the dining room. Yeah, but we've already got our 4.25 gallons of water boiling right now. This is going to be what our first mash is. What we're doing is called a polygyle, not to be confused with a pardigyle. Now, a pardigyle was something that they did back in the day. Whenever you got done with your beer, whatever you had left over, the off runnings of the grain, you would just store that in a bottle, and you wouldn't ferment it. You would literally drink it like it was Gatorade, because it had lots of nutrients, minerals, and sugar left over from the grain. So a polygyle is kind of like the different thing. What we're going to be doing is that we're going to be doing two batches, like I said. The first running's going in with 4.25 gallons and half of the grain. This is a 22-pound grain bill. So there's going to be a lot of grain going in. So that's why we're doing two batches. So it's going to go in, we're going to dough in, we're going to mash it. It's going to mash for the first time at 158 for 70 minutes. And then the next time, on the second mash, which what we're going to do is that we're going to take the wort that's left over and then mash on top of that wort. Saving all of the grain that's left over to smush it down and, get all the runnings off of it. We'll probably do some sparging as well, too. Sparging is where you basically dump hot water over the grain to get the last runnings out, stuff like that. So when we do the second boil, it will go, like I said, the grain will go right on top of the wort that we just did. We'll add a little bit more water to get it up there. And then that one will mash for 120 minutes. So this is going to be like an all fucking day thing. And then after that, when everything is said and done, we got to bring it up to a boil for an hour and 20 fucking minutes. And then do our one and only one hop addition. After that, it's also getting Maltodextrin, which I actually have right here. Now, this is a non-fermentable sugar that gives you kind of more of that, mouthfeel. That creaminess, the thickness. Not like lactose does. Lactose is also another non-fermentable sugar, which, actually, no, lactose is fermentable, but it still gives you that kind of, milky taste, I think. I think lactose is fermentable. I don't know, but it's getting this whole entire damn bag. This thing's going to be thick when we get done with it. It's also getting 1 pound of sugar, which I have over there. You already know what sugar looks like. And then it's also getting, the hop addition as well, too. It calls for a Warflock, but I don't have one. Sucks. But I think we're going to be good. This is going to be one of the first times this is going to be the only second time I've ever brewed a big beer. And the reason why we're doing this one, this is a chocolate, I don't think it's chocolate, it's a pastry stout. And what we're going to do is that one of the guys in the brewing group actually got a barrel from Lux Whiskey, and we're going to barrel age this beer. So the entire group, does their own individual 5 gallons. And then after that, everybody puts it in the barrel, ages it for a little while, and then we each get our 5 gallons back. You got to pay for your own grain. So the last time I did this, like I said, it was a son of a bitch. It was like an all-day long process, and that's why I'm starting here at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I'll keep you updated when everything goes around, and I'll try to do the best on the phone until I actually get an actual camera and can dedicate more into this channel. All right, we'll see you on the second part. All right, so we got our brew bag in there. We got our grain down here. I've separated it half-half. We want to get this guy up to about 158 to 160, because once we dump all that grain in, it's probably going to go down by a little while. I've got an old school thermometer. That's just how I like to go. These guys are most accurate, at least for me. So we're going to put a little bit in there first. And then after that, we'll mix it up. Make sure we don't get any dough balls. Dough balls, if you've seen in the previous videos, where grain can kind of get stuck together. So we're about at 150 right now. Yeah, 152. So I'm going to pause this, and we'll come back when it's exactly about 160. Alright, we're at about 158. I'm going to go ahead and just start dumping all this in and getting it moved around. So what I like to do is hold the bucket with one arm, hit the thing with the other arm, kind of get it moved around in there. You know, slow down if you need to, so you can make sure there's not any. And I'm keeping the boiler on, okay? Because like I said, once we start putting the grain in here, that's when it's going to start getting, it's going to bring the temperature down. Keep mixing, keep moving. Like I said, you don't want to get... Oops, this grain would have ground up a little better though. Shit. Alright, now that we got it all in there, take a big spatula, start moving things around. Sure, get it all nice and worked in there. I was kind of drunk when I ground this grain, so it could have been ground a little bit better, but hey, that's what home brewing is, man. It's trial and error, trying to figure out how to do this, how to do that. Let's go ahead and dump our little thermometer in here. See how it went down? We're at 45 right now, 145. We're getting back up there. Remember, we want to get this up to 158. Almost. Sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and pause that. We'll probably edit that last little bit out. Alright, so it took a little while, but I've got it at 160 right now. I went ahead and shut off the boiler. And it looks like it's holding steady at 160. So we're going to leave, I've got a big pizza pan that I use as a lid. We're going to leave that off for a little while and let this guy just cool down just the tiniest little bit. And then what we'll do is that we'll let it cool down until it gets to 158, and then after that, excuse me, I always burp in these videos. It's 7 in the morning, I'm not even drinking beer. But after that, we'll let it sit and let it get down to 158 and put the lid on, and we'll let it mash. I've already got a temperature set, not a temperature, but a timer set for 70 minutes. So we'll just go with the flow, see how it comes out. Like I said, I wish I could have ground this grain a little bit better. because it made it a little too thick, but we're going to be sparging this anyway, so I think it's going to work out. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty much good to go. We were a little high at 160, but then it dropped down to about 157, 58. So I put the lid on it and let it go. So it just did its 70-minute mash. So now I'm going to pull this up. So what I got here is like a giant strainer. And then so like I said, all this stuff has been cleaned and sanitized. So you want to go real slow. Let this drain as much as it possibly can. This is a lot of grain. You know what? I'll probably just pause it. Alright, I mostly got it up here. You can still kind of hear it draining and everything like that. I'm actually using a T500 or a Still Spirits T500 grain father. And it's actually got this really cool spout over here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So now we got the grain all good to go. I'm just going to... just like that. And that's sanitized, by the way. So, because I'm going to need to push all this down, we're going to have to fill this back up with water. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to do sparging, where we're going to fill this up with 4 gallons of water, get it up to 170. We're going to dunk this, sparge it out as best as we possibly can. And then after that, we'll take another grain bag. Get that in there, and then dump those grains in there for our secondary wort. So we're basically doing like iterations of a wort. So I'll be back after I get done spushing all this stuff down. I mean, try to use gloves. I don't have any, but because this stuff can get pretty hot. I mean, it was sitting at 150 degrees, so safety first. Alright, I'm going to try to set my phone up in a way that you guys will be able to see me. So you can see that it's mostly dropped all in there. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to bring it over here. Now that's in here. Let's close that real quick. And then there's still a little bit left in here. So, damn, I wish I had something else to put this on. Wish I got another bucket. Back. There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump this in here. Alright. Now, don't worry, this sink is sanitized. I'm going to bring this over here. And I kind of like to hold this up and then push. Try to keep it all together, you know? So that's what we're doing. We're gonna push this as much as we can. Get everything we can out of it. Squeeze. Squeeze with your hand. Squeeze it. Squeeze. You can hear it going in there too. Just keep squeezing it. Oh man, my arms are shaking. I'm squeezing so hard. So it looks like how much we got right now is about a little bit under about 3 gallons. Maybe if that. Yeah, we're about 3 gallons. So, now that we're here about at 3 gallons, is that we're going to put, let's see here, because we're shooting for 6. Probably do 7 because of the boil. So we'll put another 3 gallons in here, and then we'll get that up to 170, and then we'll dunk this, and sparge it, and dunk it, and sparge it, and then after that, we'll add this into that, cool it down to about 158, and then we'll mash in I think it's 160 actually. Then we'll mash in this grain and then let it go for another hour and 20 minutes. Alright, my hands are so sticky right now. Okay, so we got this squeezed out as best as we possibly can. It's basically just going to sit there and chill. It's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't have enough time to go bad or anything like that. We got another 4 gallons in here that we got to bring up to 170. So once that gets to 170, we're going to take that bag, dunk it in, squeeze it out, sparge it as much as we possibly can. You know what I mean? We're going to lose some water, but that's okay because we've already got 3.5 and then we've got 4. Then after that, we're going to put that grain over there because we're done with it. We're going to take the off runnings from right here that's in the bucket. We're going to pour that in there to bring it up. Then after that, we'll put a new grain bag in there. I've got another one over there sanitized and ready to go. And then put that grain in the grain bag. So I know I've been saying it twice over and over, but I've never done something like this, and this is absolutely insane. But I'm having fun doing it. I knew it was going to take all day, so let's see. We started at 7, and it's 10:03. So yeah. Well, I started like cleaning and stuff like that at 7. Probably didn't start the actual like doing all the other stuff until almost like 9-ish, but I knew it was going to take all day. That's what big beers do. All right, we got this up to 170. Now we take this. I can figure out where the hell the top went. There we go. And we dunk it in here. I'm going to put this right here for now. Oh, God damn it. Ooh, that's hot. God damn it. Well, there's our water loss that I was telling you about. There's the brew towel. We're definitely gonna need that. So yeah, like I said, I've never done anything like this before, so it's definitely interesting. Alright. I'm making a big old mess over here. Then what we're gonna do is try to squeeze some of this out. Hot though. If you got gloves, use gloves. I don't, unfortunately. Alright, I'm gonna call it at that right there. Ugh. Okay. Well, it definitely looks like we have way too much fucking water. So I am probably going to get rid of like a gallon's worth. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, well, hopefully that... See, it's weird. The recipe called for 4. I was calculating 3. We're going to put this in there and see what we got. Wow, it's exactly at 6 fucking gallons. I've got a little marker on here that tells me where it is. We're a little past it, so yeah. So now I've got to put the grain bag in here and get the grain in. All right, we got the brew in the bag. We're looking at, let's see here. It was just at 150. So this has to go 120 minutes on 153. The other one was 158. So let's turn this back up. Because it's exactly at 150. Almost 52. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just add the grain. Keep the burner on, add the grain. Alright, this is interesting. Alright, it's time to do it all over again. Come on now. Don't go up on me. We got a dough ball. You can just kind of beat those up a little bit, you know. It's definitely a lot thicker, like it said in the, because what it was that Kyle, our president, sent out kind of like what we were going to be doing, and then Josh, the one who wanted to do this whole thing, Jesus Christ, this is a thick one. Let's go ahead and add that all real quick. Get this moving, mashed around. Man, it is like right there. We're definitely at probably about 7 gallons. This is a thick one. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I got the thermometer in there, and I'm just mixing it. Going through it, I'm making sure any of the stuff that's settling at the bottom. So we're back up to 150. You gotta kind of go up and down, up and down. Get it moving around in there. And I still have the burner on. Alright, it looks like we're still at about 150, so I wanted to get up a couple more degrees. So I'm going to start swirling it and mashing it. You kind of want to like, almost like you're on a boat rowing. You know what I mean? Don't stir it too much. It might go over the top. Alright. Let's take a look now. Climbing. It's getting up there. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end this part for now. Once I get it up, then I'll show you what we're gonna do at the end. Alright, a real quick one. I got it up to 153. It took a while. I didn't want you guys to just sit there and watch me stir for like 30 minutes. But I got the lid on, and I put some weight on it so we can keep that 153. And it's going to stay like that for 120 minutes. I'm actually setting the timer now. Alright. Alright, everybody. We're finally here at the end. It's been 2 hours. Kept it 153 for 2 fucking hours. Well, we're here now. So let's get the show on the road. Oh man, this is so sticky. Oh my god. Alright, here we go again. And we're back. So you're probably wondering why I'm in different clothing, but this little edge right here literally flipped, splashed in, and soaked me with beer. So we probably lost like a half gallon, and Even before that, it was just fucking going all over the place, but we got it on the boil. So, we're going to start adding on all of our other stuff. Might be a little smaller here than I wanted, but I mean, it's like 5 gallons compared to the 6 that they fucking wanted, so. Had my grower look it up. 2 cups equals 1 pound. That goes in. Got it all nice and mixed up. Because at this point, this is when we want to take our original gravity, because the Maltodextrin will trick us, because it's non-fermentable, but it will still have a gravity. So how I'm going to do that is now that this is all nice and mixed up. This isn't at a full boil yet, so I haven't started the timer. And I'm only going to do an hour boil because of our yield. Rotate this. Do this. On this. And we'll take that here in a little while. I'll just put this in the fridge and let it cool down. There's no room in the fridge. Plug it, put it over here. So after that, the Maltodextrin. Is that how you say it? Maltodextrin. I've never actually used this stuff in a beer before, but it kind of looks like powdered sugar. But there's a lot of it that's going in here. Like that small bag that I just did, and this entire thing as well too. It's insane. I don't know who created this recipe, but shame on you. I hope you get hit by a car. Alright. So this stuff's kind of like dough balling in a kind of way. So I'm gonna go get my huge what do you call that thing? Ah, fuck it, I'll just show you. Giant whisk. So after this, we just bring it up to a boil, add a hop addition, and then the beer's done. Alright, well, a bunch of stupid shit happened. Even more than what just happened a second ago, where the graduated cylinder got knocked over, and so we don't have an original gravity. And I also did some stuff off camera, but we got it to a boil. I got the brew in the bag in there. That's going to help get down the, it's going to help get down the, any of the froth, so we're not going to have any boil overs. I already did the hop addition. I'm only doing a 1 hour boil because I don't know what the yield is right now, and I don't want it to go down any lower than it was. Originally it was supposed to be 6 gallons, and I thought I was probably about at 6 gallons before I literally splashed all of that all over me and the floor earlier. And you're going to see, because it's a pretty horrible video, and I'm like, ugh. But yeah, I'll come back with chilling it down and racking it over.
Oh my god.
Alright, so I've gotten it. I didn't have a hop spider, so I had to use a brew bag to basically do the hop addition. But I'm just trying to get this guy to drain real quick. And then we'll put the wort chiller in there and go from there. Alright, I got the wort chiller in. It's going. We'll come back here in about 30 minutes and check on the temperature. You see all that gooey shit right there? I'm pretty sure that's like hops that kind of like came out of the bag a little bit. Either that or like probably like the grain that was at the bottom in the boil kind of like gooed around the side. But I've had this happen before with like almost every single beer I've ever done, so not that big of a deal. But I'm thinking, see if this is the 6 gallon max right here. That right there is about, oh, it's fogging up again. If that right there is a 6 gallon, that looks about 5 gallons. So we yielded 5 gallons, we did good. You can see it's getting cooled down now. I just tested it, we're at like 82 degrees. And I also tasted this. It is good. It's malty, chocolatey, bitter. I think even if we weren't able to get the original gravity or anything like that, I still think it's going to come out pretty good. So let's get a little temperature here real quick. Can't really see it, but we're at 74 degrees. So I'm going to get this racked over to this guy, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, we're getting it racked off, and then all we got to do is put a, what do you call it, airlock on it. Bonus orange kitty. And then that's done. Alright, let's rehydrate this yeast. So this is a big beer, like I was saying earlier. It's actually going to take all 4 packets of USO5 to pitch in. So, yeah. This is the final stage before we dump that in the brew and we're done. Alright, pitching the yeast. It's a thick boy. There's like 20 grams of yeast in this one mixture right here. But we got about... So here's the 5 gallon mark right here. We're just literally right underneath that. So, yeah, all I gotta do is put an airlock on it and this guy's done. Alright guys, there you go. There it is. Pastry, polyguile. I started at 7 o'clock this morning. It is now 4 o'clock. How many hours is that? Let's see. It's about 9 hours. Sorry, I'm smoking cigarettes. It's been a long day. But yeah, either way, I can't take the original gravity like I said, but yeah, it's been one hell of a brew day, but I'm glad it's over with. And now to get fucked up.